day to all my creatives, and welcome to another episode of Focus on Art here at the Creative Center Bahamas, where we discuss the lives, thoughts, and work of creative minds. Just a reminder that Focus on Art is sponsored by Creative Center Bahamas and is located here at the Pop-Up Studios in Chippenham, Nassau, the Bahamas. So it's all here for your artistic events and exhibitions, and it's an amazing studio for photographers. Be sure to check out the website and the events page that are held here throughout the month, including the short courses, talks, and photography shoot parties. So today's guest is none other than Warren Grant of Warren Grant Photography. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. Feeling
Awesome.
real good.
Pretty good. Now, Warren is a really good friend of mine. I have to say that. For full disclosure, how many years have we been knowing each other? It's not like 20 years.
It's not been long, but it's been a good while.
Yeah, been a good while. Yeah. And I think we knocked it off. We were a part of Photographers of the Bahamas. I think that's the first time
I think we met when we went on the walk. What do you call it? Shoot walk.
Yeah, the photo walk.
Photo walk.
Right.
We did a photo walk is when we met.
That was a time when photographers actually did things with photographers. And because everyone was just so sporadic, you know, doing their own thing. No one was liaising with each other. No one was sharing no information at all. So, like, from that time to now, a lot of bonds have been made with photographers, at least, I guess, with our generation, I would say.
Yeah, because while you're saying that, I'm sitting there thinking, like, wow. I remember Tones. I can't remember his first name. But he's an immigration officer.
Yes.
He spearheaded it, and Tanika Williams was shooting, and Tanika is actually a really good friend of mine now. Tanika actually got me to my church where I met my wife.
See?
That whole thing. And Sandra Ford was there.
Yes. Great photographers.
The BTC guy.
BTC.
Oh, Jesus. And I can see his face. And he gonna kill me because he gonna be like, Warren, you can't remember my name?
Remember? That's why they say don't ever call names.
No way. But his son is air traffic controller. See? Exactly.
And he heard me myself.
Yep.
And like right there, I see what you said.
Mm-hmm. They were awesome. What I liked about them too, they were not full-time photographers, but whenever you need some help, boy, you could call one of them and they got you.
Exactly. That's what I really liked about it, you know. And I don't know what's happening right now in photography, but I guess we're going to talk about that a bit later on, all right? Because I don't see that camaraderie as it was before.
It's not how it used to be.
You know? So I don't know if it's just our era, because speaking to even older photographers than myself, they said they themselves had things going on. And they had like their own thing going on, but then we came along and we started something else. So it could be quite interesting to bring someone on to talk and find out, you know, the younger photographers coming up. Like, what are you doing? Like, how do you work with other photographers? 'Cause I find that a lot. Do you notice, like, especially when you see younger photographers, there are like two of them in the place taking shots?
They have an entourage, man. Right. They have grip. They got lighting. They got electricians. They got transportation. They got craft services. They got everything. And I'm like, man, where y'all get this budget from?
Exactly. You know. But it's good to see it. You know, it's taking it to another level, which is not bad. I'm not angry at it. I'm not upset about it.
I see Sean Hanna.
Yeah.
He travels with entourage, but I mean, he does great work. So.
Sometimes you need a good team, you know. Sometimes it's not good to be by yourself. You need someone to help you with things, because you keep the creativity behind the shoot, and so everyone else is just helping you bring that shoot to fruition. So it's pretty good, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So Warren, tell me about yourself, man. I know.
Are we going way back?
All right, I'll tell you this, because the first time I met you, I was like, who's this guy with this American accent from? Where's this guy from, man? What's happening? So let's talk about that. Where does the accent come from?
Well, I was born and raised in Miami. Mother's American, father's Bahamian. American kids with Bahamian fathers are in the Bahamas a lot. Through high school, elementary school. Whenever my mother could send me, my sister and I, to Nassau, we was on a plane. If it was for 3 days, or if it was for 3 months, whenever she got that break, she sent us over. So I know Nassau well. I got a lot of heritage here. I got tons of family. Like I said, my father's side of the family is here.
Right.
Shouts out to Harbor Island. Island, sweet, eh? And and so that's where the accents come from, and that's how I wound up here, is just family. I started photography in high school.
Right.
I joined the photography club, learned how to do, and that was back in the film era.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't nothing digital about that. I mean, nothing digital, nothing. Not even the clock, because the clock was analog. Clock that's bad.
Just take it.
And learned how to do black and white, and then progressed to color.
Right.
Was the editor of my high school yearbook. Did that whole thing in high school. I started out with a Minolta X700.
Just by calling the word Minolta, yeah, we know that's old.
I'm dating myself really bad.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had a Canon A1 that my dad gave me. Then I got a Minolta X700 with a sun pack.
Uh-huh.
You know the sun pack with the arm that stick up at the big. You couldn't tell me I wasn't off the chain. Then.
What? You was a pro by that time.
I was a pro boy. What? At least I looked the part. So I did that for high school. Then I joined the military.
Okay.
And when I was in the Army, I was a tanker. So I worked on tanks. I drove tanks and shot tanks and that whole thing. But I had my camera with me.
Right.
So I did a lot of stuff while in the field, while shooting tanks. I actually sold the image to the government. I think they paid me $1,800, and this was back in 87, 88.
I'm rich.
Boy, what? I was a multi-millionaire, multi-thousandaire. But it was a really cool shot of a tank shooting around downrange,
right.
And you could see the tank with the dust coming up and around the projectile going out. No, it was a really, really, really cool image. Unfortunately, they wanted the negatives, so yeah.
Yeah, they got that. That's theirs.
They got that. That's done. That was done and over with. But that was like my big.
So wait,
thing.
so let's step back for a second. You're in this high school. What do you call it? The shoot club?
Photography club.
Photography club.
Yeah, man.
So was that a common?
I was a
thing back
vice
then?
president, mate.
Oh my goodness! But that was common at that time, right? I mean,
it was kind of crazy because it wasn't.
Oh.
And a couple of us, and us being people of color,
right,
decided to join it. I think my 11th grade year, or 10th grade year. And we got in it and was, had gear or whatever and was shooting, and then more people of color just decided to come because they saw a bunch of us. Saw us doing photography,
right?
And was like, I didn't know we could do that. And that's kind of how it got rolling.
Wow!
And then it became pretty popular. And which is crazy because I'm gonna skip forward from the Army to when I got out of the Army. I was looking for a gig, like most people that get out of the Army, looking for some place to work. A friend of mine, my neighbor, worked on a cruise ship, Discovery cruise ship, that used to go to Freeport however many times a day. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I work in the photography department." Really? I know photography. I know how to take pictures. And he was like, "Oh, let me give you the lady's name who owns the company."
Right.
Well, lo and behold, guess who the owner was?
One of your high school friends.
No.
What? Who?
My photography teacher.
Okay. So she stepped up.
Miss Stafford. That was like, Miss Stafford is Warren. I need a job. Warren Grant? Yeah. Who was in? Yeah. Come, you can start Monday. It was like, cool. My interview was a phone call.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's how I got into the cruise ship photography. And that whole aspect. And then I just progressed there. I was the manager of the photo department when I left. And that's an interesting gig and a cool job. A lot of hours, a lot of work.
I can imagine.
You get to meet people. You have to learn how to meet people. You have to learn because you make your money off of selling pictures.
Exactly.
If you don't sell no pictures, big man, belly start growling. So
that was like literally trial by fire.
Trial by fire.
Because you have to jump in. If you was not a people person, you did not know how to talk to people. Like you say, you pretty much were a star.
Yes.
So you were stationed on the boat, or you just
we lived. Well, the ship used to go in and out of port every day. We never was on the water overnight, but there were nights we got in like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So we all had cabins. I had my own cabin. My staff had a cabin, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you had the option to get off the boat, if you wanted. So on my days off, I got off and would go to I was living with my aunt, so I would go to her house for 2 days and just cool out. And come back on the boat.
Pretty cool gig.
It was good. So that was a good gig.
So because I'm still trying to get this photo club, or what do you call it?
Photography club.
Photography club, yeah, photography club in high school. And without calling it date, but back then they had photography clubs. I have yet to see in the Bahamas
My
that we have a
friend,
photography club.
we have one.
So
There
who's
is
it?
one.
Who's
It is at, I'll tell you the name of the school in a minute. I don't know why I'm looking at my phone like this. My watch like it's on there. Well,
One of the schools like Sinansac or something
No,
like that?
government.
No? Government?
You know,
Really?
I went to school in the States, so I don't really know all of the public schools like that. But it's the one on Marathon Road.
Marathon Road.
You pass them all,
Uh-huh.
and it's on the right-hand side before you get to...
R.M. Bailey?
No.
Near the big park?
No. Marathon Road, headed north.
C.I. Gibson.
That might be it. That's the one on the right-hand side?
Yeah, before you reach the roundabout.
That's it right there.
C.I. Gibson.
They have a photography club.
So C.I. Gibson has a photography club?
Yes.
Do you know how long it's been around, or?
I don't, and I don't know. But I teach a summer camp for Ministry of Culture, and one of my students was in that camp.
Also.
Yeah, and she's the one that told me about it, and they've been around for a minute. And so, yeah, I was glad to hear that.
Which is good, yeah, because now that shows that the art is actually being taught to a younger generation because they have a different perspective on life, and they see things differently, obviously. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I need to visit them and just check out, see what's happening there, see if we can talk to the teacher and see how that goes out. But that's actually really interesting, man.
Yeah, but I was very surprised and quite happy. Very happy.
That's what
They actually,
kudos.
how I met them was one of my clients is a school teacher at Gibson,
Yeah, C.I. Gibson.
that
yeah.
one right there. And she asked if her students could come take photos, and I'm like, what do you mean your students? And she was like, yeah, we have a photography club.
Right.
Really? And so because I'm all about the children, I was like, sure. And there was about 12 of them.
Yeah,
It was a heap of them out. And they was all in the way. But I said it was okay, so I just sucked it up and just kind of worked around them. And it was cool.
Which is good, man. That's reading 12 at that. So, before I get back to your past, because I'm really interested in this thing about the photography club, did they seem as if, because sometimes you can actually tell persons who are very creative, how are they responding to what you were doing? Were they really excited about it?
During the wedding, they were. The group that was there, and the instructor actually paid them.
Oh.
And I think she said they got like $70 each, and
What?
it had to be about 12 of them. And I'm like, Lord, I need to go work for him.
Yes.
And he paid the kids to be there. And I don't know if my client gave him some money or whatever for them, and I don't know. But they were there. They were in the way.
The way.
They were doing their thing. The only challenge I had was he was teaching them how to shoot in professional.
Right.
And
that
was in that professional mode.
Yeah, the professional mode.
And that I didn't like because my instructor, well, back then we ain't have P.
Exactly.
So we ain't had that issue. So it was all about you got to learn the trade.
Yeah.
But while they were shooting, I was giving them tips and pointers, and if a particular shot was coming up, I kind of like grab one of them and snatch him and pull him over here, and be like, "Hey, come here. The shot you want is going to be right here in 2 seconds. Stand right here. Stand right
And
here."
wait for it. Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And just
think
kinda,
ahead.
Like we were waiting for the first kiss, and one of the kids was standing up in the aisle, and I was like, "No, if you're gonna stay here, you have to kind of
Get
stoop
low.
down low and get
Right.
low because there's people
Who wants to see.
be cognizant of people around you, and stuff like that." I was kind of teaching them, but it was cool.
Yeah, man, that's really good, man. It's good to see the person's actually doing it. So I think I'll somehow liaise with the school and see how they're doing.
Yeah.
So,
And I can, let me see. I have the young lady's number. I had a little WhatsApp group for the summer camp.
okay.
I could reach out to her to see if she can get the instructor's name and number for me.
Yeah, man, that'd be really awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be really awesome to take him to the next level.
That would
Because then
be cool.
that's people have to realize, and we're going to get to this, that photography you could make some good money from photography.
Yeah.
But you have to work.
A lot.
It's not easy. It's not easy as most people think. You have to put in the work, but you can make it. You definitely can make it. So let's go back in time again.
All right.
The Army. Let's go back to the Twilight Zone. So you went from shooting cameras to shooting tanks.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, why, man? Why?
When I joined the military. Let me tell you what's funny. My mom told me, she swear me down, she never said this, but my sister verifies it, and she told us both of us crazy. She said to me, "You either gonna go to college, you're gonna get a job, or you're gonna join the military."
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I ain't ready to go to college. Get a job. I ain't working at Burger King or McDonald's. That ain't happening. So I joined the Army.
Oh,
And when I went, I didn't know nothing about the Army. I just know it was there.
yeah.
And they kind of, when you sign up, they tell you need to pick a job. And
Really?
so
I thought they assigned job. You actually have to pick it?
you pick it. You take an aptitude test.
Okay.
And with this test, they say you're eligible for these different positions.
Oh, okay.
They always, and I didn't find this out till after I did it. They always start you out with the combat jobs.
Right.
And then if you keep denying those, then they move you to the desk jobs and you get the cushy jobs.
Oh, okay.
You just got to stay strong. I didn't know.
So you had to be combat.
So they started out, they wanted me to be like a Combat 11 Bravo, guys who walk around and shoot guns and then they run it through the bush and Rangers and no, I ain't doing that one. And they showed me artillery and a bunch of other stuff. And then they came to the tanks, and it was like the video was cool. The dude driving the tank, and he jumping over stuff, and they shooting. And I was like, I like that.
I would do that.
I like that right there. That looked like fun. And that's how I got it. Actually, that happened to me twice in my life.
Wow. Really?
Twice. Yep. But I'll tell you that after the cruise ship.
Okay, so how long were you in the military?
5 years. Did 5 years.
Any tours or anything?
Yeah, man. Did 3 years in Germany, which was awesome. I was 18 years old with a pocket full of money.
Oh, gee.
Living the life in Germany. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. Man, if I could go back to them days, oh, yeah. That was good. Then I came to reality and went to Texas.
Okay.
And hated every bit of it and got out.
So from Germany to Texas, it's like, that's enough.
It was night and day. And I regret getting out. I won't lie. I wish I would have stayed in. I have quite a few of my classmates and friends who I went in the Army with all retired now, and, they getting a good check and they ain't working. So
they were full-time military.
They did 20 years.
Okay, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
At least they survived.
Yeah, man.
That's a good thing.
Well, I got out about 2 months before Desert Storm.
Oh.
Literally not even 2 months, because I was the last group that they let out at Fort Hood.
Right.
Nobody else was able to exit the Army.
Wow.
Because of that whole Desert Storm scenario. So, yeah, I got out right before that.
Wow. Yeah. So luck was on your side with that one.
Yeah. And most of the guys that I knew that I stayed in contact with didn't lose any of them.
Okay, good. That's good.
People don't understand. U.S. Army is something special. They train to win.
Exactly.
And they train hard to win.
Okay.
Don't ever get that mistaken.
So, would you say you would take your training from military and put it into your business the way you run your business?
Yeah.
So the training really helped out?
The regiment, the military has a regiment. We do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes second nature.
Right.
And so stuff like that with like packing bags for weddings. I have a wedding packing list. I have a real estate packing list.
Right.
I have a newborn packing list. I have a birthday and anniversary packing list because it's, I don't take the same. It don't make no sense to lug all this stuff all over the place that you don't need. So,
and I'm carrying like 2 and 3 bags, and then you're going to use like one thing out of one
thing
bag.
out of it. Yep.
Exactly.
You're like, God, my back hurts.
Been there, done that.
Oh yeah.
So when you got out of the military, like you say, you were. Where were you in Freeport?
I was out of Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
Yep. Fort Lauderdale Harbor.
Made the call. Next thing you know, you're on the cruise ship.
I'm on the cruise ship.
Back and forth, taking some shots.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Pulling people over. Let me take your photograph. You look so lovely tonight. So
you have to do all that. When they talk about cold calling, buddy, that's a different story. That you have to convince somebody that don't want a picture to take a picture. And then when you take that picture, you gotta make it well enough so when they see it, they be like, damn, that's nice.
I gotta take it.
And buy it. That was the beast mode. Which for some reason, I don't know, I was really, really good at. Because when I first got on the ship, all of the staff members we used to call it decks.
Right.
Okay, now that we did everybody coming on the ship, you got to go shoot the dining room and you got to go shoot the decks. And when I got on the decks, dude, it was like nothing. I was snapping away. And people were buying pictures.
Right.
And that was one of the things I think that got me promoted through the ranks because I had the money coming in.
Right, so what to say, you bringing the money up to the same thing.
Money in. And so that was crazy because there was other people that'd be like, I don't want to do it today, and it was like, you schedule to do it, and like, Warren, you want to do it?
Sure. Yeah, I'll take it over.
No problem. Let's go. Yeah.
So, but that I think that shakes off a lot of the fear and talking to people. I never been on a cruise ship, but I only worked at Atlantis, my Atlantis photos. Similar to that. You know, you had to get persons and talk to them. And what I found out is not that they're only just buying the photo, you know. They bought you first.
Yes.
You talk to them a certain way. They like your attitude. And because the way you made them feel, when they see that photo, that feeling comes back. And I found that was a trick. So can you, I'm going to put you in the spot here. What was your words? Did you have a spiel that you would use, or you just depend on the person?
Believe it or not, I didn't.
So it was just talking.
It was just, hey guys, how you doing? Like to get a photo? Guys look really good today. Yeah. Look at this. It's just stupid stuff, I guess. I don't know, man. And when we left, we always left at sunset. Right. So there was always by the time the boat got out of the channel, it was always a beautiful sunset as we were headed out into the middle of the ocean. So it was always, I guess that's why I like sunsets now. Now that I think about it. Because I did 1 million of those on the cruise ship. And people liked them. Yeah. And it was, and then on the decks, if it was a couple, like during the day, if we was going to Freeport, it's just get the couple together and just people like to feel good. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. People just like to feel good and like to, and like the compliments. Emotions. Emotions. Because there's something I say about photographs a lot of time. Persons I've trained, I always tell them, you know what, the technical part, you're going to get that down part. That's the easy part. Yeah. The hard part is making someone feel good, especially look good in the photo, so that when they see the photo, again, emotions come back. Emotions come back. Getting that emotion out is what people buy. Yeah. That's it. This is why you may take a picture that was messed right up, like your exposure was off, something is bad, but they were laughing or something, and they want that. That's true. They want that. That is so true. Because I've had people, even with weddings, it's like when I say pick the picture you want for your portrait, and I'm like, this crap? They pick the weirdest one, right? Exactly. Like, no, I don't want that to go out to the world. I want this to go out to the world. And they be like, no, this is we really like this one. Okay, it's your picture. That's the emotion attached to it. They just remember that moment. That's the thing about it. That's what I really love about photography. I mean, not only does it capture a moment in time, but it captures, like they say, the emotion part of it. That feeling. It's which is so weird. And I'll bring this up. I watched. It happened at the same time. Superman. One of the movies came out. I can't remember which one it was. The one with Zod, when he came back and he, whatever. Anyway, they broke up his house. I'm Marvel. But it's okay. I'm Marvel. See, this is why I probably don't remember either. But anyway, they broke up. They threw a car or something in the mother's house. Something they threw inside there. And anyway, after it's all done, the mother was going through the rubble, and she was just looking for the photo album. Yeah. And then that same week, there was a tornado somewhere in the States. I think through Tornado Alley. And the one thing everybody looks They're looking for them photos. I'm talking photo albums. This woman, I'm like, miss, your entire house is gone. Yep. But she crying for this photo album. Yeah, but if you see those people on the news, when you see them digging through those rocks, they're looking for a picture. They're looking for that photo. They're looking for a photo album of something. Yeah. So that's the power of photography, you know? So you just can't go about snapping shots willy-nilly. You have to bring some emotion out of the person. Yeah. And I think as we get and talk more about your wedding photography, I think, because you see where you pull that out of people, and that's why they pick certain things like that, you know. But anyway, so back to the past again, because we went for it. Let's jump back again. So you did the cruise ship back and forth. You learned how to talk to people and get the cold calls, and you worked your way up through the ranks back and forth. And how long did you work there? Because I was there about 2 years. I actually wasn't there very long. No, okay. No. 2 years is a long time taking photos, bro. Well, on a cruise ship, I guess. Yeah, that's what I mean. Cruise ship life sucks. But eating the same food over and over again. Well, I mean, because of my position, actually, because most people probably don't know, but on a cruise ship, the photo department is not owned by the cruise ship. Right. Okay. It is a vendor. It's another company that they actually pay the cruise line to be on their cruise ship to make money. So that's that whole thing. So you don't eat, like, I'm not considered staff. I'm considered crew. Okay. Or did I say that backwards? I lied. I'm considered staff, not crew. Okay. Right.
crew.
So we had our own. We ate in the staff restaurant. We ate with the dancers and the front desk people, and I won't even say the bartenders because they're considered crew. Those folks. So it's just people,
entertainment, pretty much.
Right. People who had to interact with people directly.
Right.
Are considered staff.
Okay.
And so all of us ate together. So it wasn't bad food. It was a good gig. And then I had a budget, so I was able to go into the upscale restaurant and when I wanted to eat a steak, I went and got a steak.
Yeah. Well, that kind of worked out.
Yeah.
So after the cruise ship now, 2 years has passed. What made you decide that, you know what, okay, enough of this?
Yeah, that dumbness. I was sitting at the house one day when I was off, and I saw a commercial. That's it. These commercials, man, I'm visual. Visual stuff gets me. Do you want to be a paramedic? Do you think you could be a paramedic? Would you like to drive an ambulance? And da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, I can do that.
I can do that.
I'm tired of this boat. I can do that. And so I took an EMT class, and then I took the paramedic class, and 29 years later, I'm still doing it.
All right. So, wow. So 7 years in the military, 2 on the boat, and now 29 years.
29 years as a paramedic. Yeah.
So you did that where?
Miami, Gainesville, and
Damn,
here.
bro, Miami. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot that's going on in Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're busy.
Always. Dude, you rest when you're dead, man. That's my philosophy.
Okay.
I don't rest.
I would consider Miami, New York, and California, like Los Angeles in particular, like the capital.
No? Believe it or not, no.
What?
You got Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis,
Damn.
Memphis.
Well, Memphis, yeah.
They got some
They got the
jungle
whole
out.
show with Memphis with the.
Yeah.
Crap.
They got some jungle out down there.
Damn it.
New Orleans.
Yeah. Sad.
Miami is a bunch of old people, man. Believe it or not. Bunch of nursing homes. Bunch of
most of your
lizards.
calls with the nursing homes?
Yeah, we call them lizards.
I fell down.
I'm falling and I can't get up.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, come on, Miss Johnson. Let me help you back on the toilet.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It was a lot going on, but
Yeah.
it's work now. I mean, I still do it to this day.
Right.
I don't know how much longer, but to this day.
So while you were doing that, did you still continue with photography, or you just dropped it?
I dropped photography for a while.
Right.
And I did Miami, and then I did Gainesville, Florida, for Electric County Fire Rescue. I did that for a bunch of years, and they had a program where if you bought any technical devices, they would pay for it, and they would loan you the money, and you just pay them back. So the first thing I bought was a Sony digital camera and a printer.
Okay, so now if we jump on digital, this in like early 2000s, somewhere up in there. Where?
That was like 90.
Maybe up in 98, 90, somewhere up in there.
Towards it might have been 2000.
Coming up close
2000, 2001, that area around there.
Okay, good.
Between the end of the century and the turn of the century, somewhere.
Right.
God, did I have to say it like that?
Old. Jesus.
Wow.
Because if you had to buy a digital, even back then, digitals were still expensive.
Yes, that's why I got it through the job where they loaned me the money, and I was able to pay them back. And it was a Sony where it had the lens was long, and the back part, like, it was all attached, but it moved. It was like Sony's first digital camera.
There was experimenting with it, pretty much.
But it took some good images. It was cool.
So this is while you were the fire
department. Yeah, I was with Electric County Fire Rescue.
So were you taking pictures of like fires and crap, or you just
people, fires? I did a couple weddings.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Why don't people ever take pictures of what they do?
Because you're doing it. I can't take a picture of me working on somebody.
Come on, your off day or something, be like, hey man, where's the next fire or something, and get some shots of that.
Because when you off, it's like when you leave work. I'm leaving work. I'm not going back to that. What? No.
See y'all tomorrow, man.
Exactly. See y'all in 2 days.
Okay. All right, so you was fire crash rescue?
No. I was on a regular. It was fire department.
Fire department.
Fire rescue is what it is.
All right.
That's in the States. They have the fire departments and the ambulance department, EMS, are together.
Right.
So it was always fire rescue.
Okay.
And the progression was you would probably be an EMT first, work on the ambulance, become a firefighter, and then go work on a fire engine.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
that's good.
and if you had the more certs you had, the more money you made, the higher your rank was, that type of stuff. More training.
So it was structured then?
Yeah, very structured. It's a paramilitary environment.
Okay.
Very paramilitary. So it was easy fit in because of my military background.
Yeah.
But it's very paramilitary.
Makes
very,
sense.
very.
So where upon your decision after getting your Sony, what happened after that? You got your camera. You're still with
I wound up moving to Harbor Island. My father fed me a pipe dream.
Come to Bahamas.
I love him to death, but I got swing. Bad. Really bad.
Oh,
and I wound up in Harbor Island for a year. Trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do because I got swing. And I wind up coming to Nassau to teach the EMT program. Okay. And then I got hired here to work on air ambulance as a flight paramedic. So that was about 15 years ago. Some years ago. I can't remember, man. Getting old now these days. Running together. It was a bunch of years ago.
Yeah. Good while.
So I was doing teaching and flying was consuming a lot of my time.
Right.
And there was a good hiatus of not taking pictures. I always had a digital camera, but nothing professional.
Right. So it was just like a hobby then, just
it was
shots.
Family vacations, that type stuff. Just my family vacation pictures were better than everybody else's because I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then how did I? Oh, so then I left air ambulance and I went to Atlantis.
Okay.
And when I got to Atlantis, the devil bank was giving unsecured lones for $40,000 to managers.
That sounds like a good one, eh?
Until they put that 19%. I hope that bank burns in hell. But I ain't going to call their name, Commonwealth. I'm not calling no names, but I just hope that bank burns to the weight.
Goodness.
Although they have some really good friends of mine that work there, so don't burn that part. Put that apart. But yeah, so they were giving loans, and I was like, you know what? But it's time to start taking pictures again.
Yeah.
So, no, I lie. No. Vacation, I bought a Nikon D90.
Okay. So we definitely in the 2000s.
Nikon,
came out. Right?
Yeah, we're in the 2000s. This is like 2003, 4, 5.
Yeah, early 2000s.
6, 7, somewhere around
Somewhere
there.
up in that.
And this is a funny story. Well, not a funny story, but people always ask me, why do I shoot Nikon over Canon?
Right.
And when I went to go buy that D90, it was on sale.
That's it. That was it.
It was on sale.
I was making afford at the time.
So I got that D90 because it was on sale.
Yeah.
The only reason. It had nothing to do with nothing technical. Nothing, it looks better than this. The pictures are warmer than this. And none of that. It was the mighty dollar.
That's it.
I bought that. And then so I had a couple, I bought some lenses. Like I had a Nifty 50.
Definitely.
And I think I bought I had a wide angle lens. I can't remember what it was. I have no idea where it is now.
Right.
Somewhere in my house. Oh, it was a 14 to 120. Something. Anyway, it's on one camera in the studio somewhere. Yeah.
Probably rusted on exactly.
No, because I use it for summer camp.
You still use it?
Well, not the D80, not the D90, not
the
that.
lens.
No, the lens.
Okay.
That D90 is in a dumpster somewhere because it broke some years ago. And then when I went to Atlantis, they had the program. So then I upgraded to a D300S.
Okay.
And then I got my 24 to 70, 7200, my first two pro lenses. Mm-hmm. And then, as Sherrod say, the lens bug bite you.
Oh,
Jesus, Lord, have mercy. The money just spins. It just goes. And I've gone through the 300, the 300S, the 700, the 800, the 750, and now I'm at the Z6.
Cha-ching.
And I have the 24 to 70, the 70 to 200, the 35, the 85, the 105, the 55, the 35. 10 to 24. Man,
Just the whole
bunch of
gamut.
crap.
Nikon loves you.
Man,
They love you.
just a bunch of stuff. Because every time I get into something,
Yeah.
you need another specialized lens, and so
that's the thing. That's the trick, right?
yeah.
I think Nikon is very smart in that. They know if you're going to switch your genres, you're going to have them switching your lens. So,
Yeah.
They get you that way.
Yeah, they got me. Well, I think I got 8 cameras in my studio
Yeah,
now.
pretty much. Because again, every camera depends. It's something different. You know, you have cameras that are really good for sports. Some are really good for low light. Some are really good for landscape. So you switch around, you're going to have to switch your camera bodies and your lens. That's how they get you, man.
Yeah, man.
One of these days, they could make one camera that could do it all.
No, they're not. Because they'll lose
I'd
money.
be like, that's never gonna happen. They might give you a loan like that devil.
That devil place. Yeah.
Like buy it now and pay for it later.
Yeah. So, and there's some of them out there. There's the phase ones and
there we go.
those people.
20 and 40,000 camera lens. Anyway,
Well, the $25,000 for just a body.
Oh gee.
But I guess I never see. I don't have the need for that.
Get a mortgage for that just to get that out. So you're at Atlantis now. You're playing around with lenses.
So I decided. You know what? I'm gonna start doing weddings.
What? Wait. No, you don't just wake up and decide that. What happened? Were you watching the commercial again? Something?
I don't know. I might have. I don't know. I just decided, I'm doing this. I have this camera, and this is with the D80.
Right.
I have this camera and this lens. I know how to take pictures. I can do this. Okay. So I said I would shoot 5 weddings for free.
Okay.
They just pay for whatever product they want.
Why did you decide to do that? Like, why?
To build a portfolio.
Okay.
Basically, to have work to show somebody else that now you need to pay me. And that was it. I did 5 weddings. And actually, what's crazy is one of the grooms of one of the first weddings I did for free was a pilot. And I now fly with him. He and I fly together at Air Ambulance.
See?
which is really crazy.
Friendships and
photography. Yeah, man. But I did 5 weddings for free. They turned out good for a D80. Mm-hmm. I mean, for a D90, they worked. And I think I bought a D80 as a backup camera. That's why I keep screaming D80.
D80.
I think I had 2 of them.
Really very similar. So.
Yeah, I can't. That was a long time ago. It was a bunch. I ain't gonna say a long time ago. A bunch of cameras ago.
That's the best way to go.
And pictures were nice, and they were acceptable. People enjoyed them. They liked them.
Okay.
And so I got into that and was shooting, and then the people popped up, and that's when I got to 300, and just progressed from there. Got the bug.
So, but you already had the experience, so I can't say how did you feel about shooting your first weddings? You were already shooting people.
Well, I would like when I was shooting weddings in Gainesville, they were like friends, family, that type stuff. Whatever. Mm-hmm. But professionally, that first one was like actually, the first one was on the beach.
Okay.
And it wasn't a lot of people. It was almost like a destination wedding, but with locals.
Right.
And so that wasn't a lot of pressure on me. And then I don't think pressure don't move me because as a paramedic, I'm pressured all day. You're about to die. That don't move me.
Save me.
Yeah, that don't move me. So I really don't feel pressured or been pressured shooting weddings.
So you wasn't that nervous or anything? That was just go in and do what you got to do.
Take pictures, man, and have fun. And I think the key to it is just have fun. I tell everybody, man, if you're taking pictures and you're not enjoying it, go do something else.
That is true. That is very, very true. I'll tell you, because I was told as well before I got into shooting people, I was doing a lot of landscaping, flowers and stuff like that. And I was selling the artwork. And I was told, if you're not feeling good, do not shoot. Did not understand what is meant by that. Until one day that I actually was not feeling it. And I went out and I shot, they were crap. And that's when I realized photography is attached to your emotion. It's more artwork because it comes from inside.
Yeah.
You know? That's quite interesting. A lot of people don't realize that. And speaking in weddings, let's jump to weddings for a second.
Right.
There's so much to talk about.
Have one today.
See? I'll tell you my experience and you tell me yours, because everyone is a bit different. I always find that there's some people you have to control. Because here it is. It's not only just the bride and groom, but you have the bridal party, and then you have the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the cousin. There's always some person, at least one person.
That's going to try you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Without fail. How do you deal with these people?
I established that rapport I go to all my wedding rehearsals.
Okay.
So everybody I shoot, I go to their wedding rehearsals. One, to see what this entrance is going to look like.
Yeah.
And how long that's going to be. Because it ain't short. They never are. And I speak to the client and the bridal party that day, and I give instructions on, listen, this is how the day is going to flow. I'm going to be the bride here at this time. I'm doing this. Then I'm going to the groom. Rah, 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 rah. Then when I get to the part about the formal photos, I say to everybody plain and simple, listen, when I ask you to move, I need you to move. It's going to be hot. Don't get aggravated, because you should snap at me, I'm going to snap at you, you're going to snap at me, I'm going to snap at you, and it ain't going to go well. And I'm going to get pissed, pack up my stuff, and leave. And so at that point, the warning shot has been fired.
Right.
Everybody knows this dude head ain't good. Okay? And from there, I have no issues. I have one mother, mother of the bride, mother of the groom. I was trying to get her to go into a particular position, and she said she don't want to do the pictures like that. She want to do it like this. Don't tell her what they're doing. She's the boss.
Okay.
So I got that Scooby-Doo. Boss of me? Me.
I'm paying you. You do as I say.
I said, okay. So I turned around and started packing up my stuff. Cold. And I was getting ready to leave. And the girl was like, Warren, no, wait. Calm down. Big man, I don't work for her.
Right.
I'm a grown man. My company's name is Warren Grant Photographer.
Right.
My boss is a good guy. I know him very well. Okay? He ain't going to get mad if I leave.
Right.
And so then everybody kind of like, boy, like, whoa, calm down, da. And mom kind of realized, like, oh, hell, this nigga serious.
Yeah.
He for real.
Yeah.
And, that was the last pitch I took of her for the rest of the night. And when the groom them came and they viewed the picture, he came to me laughing. He said, yeah, I see what you did. I said, what you talking about? He said, I see what you did. I was like, what? He said, yeah, I ain't seen my mom in no more pictures. Long as you know, and long as she know. She's not my boss.
She's not the boss.
But he was like, she asked for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
He was like,
I do nothing about that.
So,
that's true.
Yeah, I established that off the top. I will tell you, big man, I don't work for you. All right? People will tell me, and I'm cool. I shouldn't say this about Burger King, but I will. People will tell me, like, move out the way. I want to see. And I tell people simple, listen, when you at Burger King, I don't come to Burger King and bother you while you at work. So don't bother me while I'm at work.
Right.
I'm trying to do my job. These people are paying me to stand right there.
Yes.
Just lean to the side.
That's all you got to do.
And
work around me.
They give me that look of, and I don't have problems with nobody else.
So Bahamian weddings, when I'm talking about it, like off the top, I don't care what they say. I don't care how small it's going to be. What's the allotted time? For me, it's like the shortest amount of time I've ever shot a Bahamian wedding. It's probably 6.5 hours. That's because I left early.
Oh, I was going to say, you did good. You had a good one. 6.5 hours? Never. ever. 6.5 hours? They didn't what? They didn't eat? They didn't have a reception.
No, they had a reception.
No, man.
But it was based on time for me. You know, they started late. So let's get to that, actually. Let's talk about this wedding photography, because primarily, let me ask you, you are still a wedding photographer, considered. You're a wedding photographer here in the Bahamas. You travel between here and different islands doing different things, pretty much just in the wedding genre. So you have a lot of experience dealing with just Bahamians and destination weddings as well. So the one question I'm going to start this with.
Destination wedding.
No. We can show the difference between that right now. We can get to that. But the one question that's always asked, even persons who know me as a friend, why is wedding photography so expensive?
Wow.
Like, where can you even start with that?
What's interesting is, what Bahamians don't realize is that wedding photography in the Bahamas is extremely inexpensive.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wait, say that again. Say that again.
It's very inexpensive.
Very.
I wish I could get paid them $10,000 like what them people get paid in the States. And $8,000 for a wedding, $7,000 for a wedding. A couple of $2,500 y'all complaining about. It ain't no money. Like I said, I can explain. Number one, my primary camera right now is a $2,800 camera. Mm-hmm. That's attached to a $3,200 lens. That has on top of that a $600 flash. Mm-hmm. That got to get paid for.
Exactly.
Then I put that on side of my $3,200 iMac. That's attached to my $400 lens. I mean, screen, two of them.
Right.
To edit your pictures for about 3 days.
Right.
All right. That's time. It ain't cheap. My equipment, professional gear is not cheap.
No, it's not.
Oh, I had to learn how to do Photoshop too. I had to pay for them classes.
Okay.
Can I get that money back? Don't you think I should get it back?
Okay then.
And then wait, now we just getting started. You open up a can of worms.
Let's go.
So now you want this fancy? The books that I sell are graphic studio books. Mm-hmm. They're the best in the world. Right. The best in the world. Their cheapest book is $1,200.
Okay.
What
That's not even the shoot. That's just the book itself to put the.
That's the book. I ain't put the pictures in there yet. Oh wait, we didn't hit the VAT people yet, or the customs people, or the freight people. We didn't touch them yet.
Right.
Oh, okay. So, and you wonder why it's $2,500?
And why
man?
That's okay. Let me break it down.
And then ask, well, why you driving that van? Don't you have a lot of money? Because it's $3,000, exactly. And that's what I could afford. Jeez.
I once actually sat down and I ran the numbers. And here's what I did. I actually took out my camera equipment, right? Let's take out the camera equipment alone. Let's just take a wedding. From the moment someone calls you, Warren, I saw your images on Instagram, Facebook, wherever, your website. I want you to shoot my wedding. Okay, fine, cool. First of all, business expense, you had to answer that phone.
Yep.
We just spent some money.
And we don't have cheap cell phone service here as well.
There we go.
Just in case you thought
we
did.
We already starting to rack up. Cha-ching. Then you have to meet with them. So you have to drive somewhere, or they have to drive to you. Lucky if you have a studio, they can come to you. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But then that's still time with you meeting with them. So you have to sit down and go over your portfolio and, okay, what are you looking for, blah, blah. That's at least maybe from 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how good they are. And then they say, okay, yes, you want to go. So you decide on your pricing.
Oh, wait, but you skip some stuff.
Okay, what I skip?
I got to turn them lights on in my studio.
Oh, yeah. We bring electricity.
Yeah, I got to
You got to keep them cool.
I got to keep the cable bill.
Yep.
All right, I got water. Right. I mean, yeah, it's only $3 for a 5-gallon thing, but I got to pay for that.
Right.
I had to buy that water machine.
Exactly.
All right, them lights. I have daylight balance lights in my studio. Y'all understand? It racks up. It ain't cheap.
This is what I'm trying to show people. It's like, don't think that because you see someone coming in and press a button on a camera, oh, this is easy. There's some expenses involved in this. And then you need to make sure you recoup those expenses.
Yep.
We're not even getting to your time yet. Like, what is your time really worth? And I usually ask people that before I explain everything. Literally sit down for a second. Let me just give you a ballpark. I would ask them, you know what? Tell me an idea of where your job pays you and what they pay you per hour. And then when you think about it and you start breaking down, like you mentioned, okay, let's say you meet your client about 2 or 3 times before the wedding because you want to get some things straight. And then you book a pre-wedding shoot.
Oh, yeah.
So before the wedding, pre-wedding shoot, this is time racking up.
Yep.
Okay. And then the wedding, which is another 8 hours. So between the wedding and all that meeting and stuff like that, we ready up to like 12, 13 hours, maybe 20.
You about 20 hours.
It's 20 hours right there.
Yeah.
Then you have to take all those images. And how many more? Okay, then take a deep breath. Just talking about time. So,
an example. I shot a wedding the other day. 2,500 images.
Wow.
I got to curl that down. I got to go through each one of those images and say good, or stay, go, stay, go, stay, go, stay, go, stay. That's about 3 hours.
There we go.
Looking at 2,500 images. Mm-hmm. Then it's time to start editing the 800 that I'm left with, 900, maybe 1,100 I'm left with. That sounds brutal.
So you have to.
That's brutal, man. Why do I do this again?
Exactly. So just the time alone, the amount of time that people look into it, like it's the best way I could describe it. You could correct me if I'm incorrect. Every hour spent shooting is about 2 hours editing.
Yep, that's the rule of thumb.
So you out there, you think about it, 8-hour wedding alone, just shooting. We're talking about 16 hours editing. That's basic. We're not even talking about when you get in a photo ready for print.
We ain't got to that part yet because I do about 2 hours, 2.5 hours on each print.
There we go.
That I enlarge.
So yeah, we're talking about enlargement. We're talking about those 16 by 20, 20 by 24 print that you put on your wall. Those nice, beautiful images. Yeah, it just doesn't happen that way.
No.
That's time that goes into just making that image ready for print. Because it's going to be printed so large.
Yeah, when you walk inside your friend's house and you look at the bride and you say, boy, that makeup artist was off the chain.
Hell no.
That makeup looked great. Now, I will say this. I have much love for my Bahamian makeup artists. Love them to death, and we have some really good ones. But they look good when they go to the church.
Oh, yeah, that's about it.
They look good when they come down that aisle. Mm-hmm. After all that crying and sweating in these hot churches.
And hugging up.
And hugging up. And it's time to go take them pictures.
Makeup
they
gone.
Look a hot
that
mess.
Makeup
Gone.
So now you have to sit down for another couple hours.
And be a makeup artist. Yep.
Yeah. So that's work again.
And just making skin tones even. Taking out blemishes.
Yep.
These big zits you got on your forehead. Your yellow teeth. Your red eyes.
Exactly.
It's just so much stuff that has to be done. And people just don't get it. They just think it's, you just push the man. You got Photoshop.
Okay.
Photoshop ain't got no button.
Magic button.
Yeah. There's a makeup button. Poof. No, that don't work like that. It takes time. It takes a lot of time to do that stuff. So it's crucial. It's brutal, man.
It is. Because then, so now you're finished with your editing. You some 18 odd hours into it. Mm-hmm. You have to upload the images to be printed. Mm-hmm. And then when they come in, like you say, you have to pay that extra to bring it in. Then you got to go and drive and pick it up, and then you got to go and contact the person. This is a lot. And at the same time, you're working with other clients.
Yeah, because then there's a couple birthday shoots in there. There's a baby christening in there. There's a real estate shot. Then there's one of your boys call you because they can't do something and ask you if you could do it. And you be like, yeah, only because you're my boy and you just hooked me up, I could do it. Because when it pops up, you could do the same thing. But these things happen, and you get, man, if you're an active photographer, you get swamped quick.
Very, very quick.
But because you get swamped on the back end.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the challenge. That back end is the one that people see you out and it just looks glamorous. Oh, he's taking these pictures and, man, they look amazing. Okay.
So the easiest part is actually shooting.
The easiest and the funnest part is shooting.
That's it.
That is it.
After that is just grueling work.
Man, oh man.
So what do you really love about wedding photography? I mean, you have so many different options.
No idea. No. I love the interaction with the people.
Right.
I like the interacting with the people, and I like, after going through all of that we just complained about, giving the bride her book. Mm-hmm. She opens up her book, and she starts crying again.
There you go.
That's what makes it worth it. The emotions.
Bring that out.
That's what makes it worthwhile.
And you forget all about that 25 hours.
I record. When I present my books to my bride, I record it.
Right.
I recorded my phone because I have on one of my pages, I have a video of a compilation of brides looking at their books and crying and smiling and, oh my God, I remember that and I remember this, and that's what makes it worth it to me.
To remember that
part.
moment.
Yeah.
The thing that I usually tell my brides is that, look here, I don't care how well you think you are not going to remember anything from this day.
Nope.
The one thing that you will have to remember after this day are these photos.
That's it.
The cake could be gone. That dress could be hanging up somewhere, probably torn and dirty. Mm-hmm. The shoes that you spend so much time putting his and her, whatever, on that, it's probably going to be broken. Everything from your makeup to your hair, the only two things you're going to be left with is your ring and your photos.
And that's it. And I'm going to take a really nice picture of the ring. In case you lose it.
Just in case. Like, this is how it used to look.
So, yeah. So your 5 diamonds fall out?
So, even talking about that, let's get into the shooting part of it. Because when we have a set amount of time. Weddings are very difficult, first of all. Let me just
Yes.
say, and you can tell me about this as well, because this is a one-time thing. Can you call everyone back? Can you call Aunt Flo, who came all the way from
Nope.
New York, just do the shoot all over again? So you literally, it becomes kind of stressful. Mm-hmm. And you have to capture, especially when you have a bride or groom that are very detail-oriented. So they set the church a certain way. Again, they knew what they picked, but they don't have no idea how it really looks when everyone is inside there. So it's up to you to capture that.
Uh-huh.
So your process, talk about that for a second. Your process. Do you have, because you talk about packing your bag, you have a list for packing your bag. So when you go into a wedding, do you have an idea of like, these are the things I'm looking for, these are things I must get? What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, there's a shot list in my head, and I mean, there's shot lists out on the web of pretty much the same thing everybody wants in a wedding. Some more, some not, less. But my wedding day process is pretty much routine. Mm-hmm. I try to keep it routine. I have some alternate spaces in there where this might be a little different than this.
Right.
But normally, like, I'll get to my bride anywhere from 2.5 hours, from 3 to 2.5 hours before the scheduled start time of the wedding. Mm-hmm. First thing I do is I ask for the wedding rings. I shoot the wedding rings. I shoot the flowers. I try to shoot the flowers, but then most of the time they're not there. Uh-huh. So I'll shoot the shoes, the garters, anything that they spent money on. I shoot those. Take the dress out. I'll shoot the dress. Mm-hmm. Then if the groomsmen are at the same location, I go shoot the groomsmen. I come back. Mm-hmm. I shoot my bride getting the last part of her makeup done with the makeup artist. I always check with them and kind of get a schedule of how long it's going to be before they're finished. And all of them are pretty good and pretty precise with that time.
Good.
Shoot the guys. Guys, same thing. Shoot detail stuff. Shoot the groom getting dressed. Help with the best man helping him get dressed. Shot of the guys hanging out, maybe sitting on the bed, sitting on a table, wherever they are. A picture of that. Men, it don't take long to shoot men. You turn around, sit down, point it, look at that. We're
That's
done.
it.
That's it. We're done. Go back down to the girls. Get the final touches of the makeup. Get pictures of her before she's getting dressed when she's in a little white robe and all that stuff. I have a routine of how I do that, getting her in the dress. It's funny. Bridesmaids are more concerned about me seeing the bride than the bride is about me seeing the bride.
Always.
With their skimpies on. And it's like, I tell the bridesmaid, the last thing a dude gonna do is beg a woman on her wedding day. She putting on clothes to go meet the man of her dream. And I'm going to say, what you saying? Give me something? Really? Really? And it's like, no.
No, I usually tell people, you realize I'm a photographer. There's isn't much I haven't seen.
I'm a photographer and a paramedic.
Okay, so just relax.
And I shoot boudoir.
Exactly.
So you got on plenty clothes. Oh, you haven't seen this, sweetie. I've seen plenty. They look the same.
Pretty much.
You could Google them. They're right there online. One of them is yours. So, yeah. But so the brides usually don't care. Yeah. And I try not to be a geek about it or disrespectful. Right. Very, very respectful about it. If they seem uncomfortable, I'll turn my back or I won't hold my camera up when I shouldn't hold it up to take a shot. I do not take pictures of my brides when in bra and panties. Right. I don't do that. So normally once that dress gets above their breast, then I start shooting because I want to get a picture of what appears to be of them getting in their dress.
Ready. Right.
So yeah, there's that type stuff. I don't want to be a pig about it, and I try to be very respectful to the brides, which they all appreciate. I have learned how to put women in wedding dresses.
It's an art form.
It is an art form.
Especially with the laces.
Yes. Oh, I'm a freak about the laces. Those corset dresses. Yeah. When I do my consultation and I talk to my brides, I ask them, if you said yes to the dress, does it have a corset? And if she says yes, I move everything up a half hour earlier. Right. Because it's going to take a while to get her in that dress. Yep. And I'm very anal about how my dresses look because if those corsets are not laced right, your pictures look like crap. Yeah, because they're all crisscross and they're wonky. Because you got to go in, fold it, flank. Yeah. It takes a while. It takes a while. So I'm very good at doing those, and I've learned how to do different type styles. Right. You know how you could do like 100 different ties? Uh-huh. Yeah, I can do that with the back of dresses. So that's pretty cool. I take my time with that. and then getting shoes on and wardrobe malfunctions and how to fix this and how to fix that. In my camera bag, I have a sewing kit.
Yes.
I got straight pins, hair pins, all kind of stuff to fix stuff.
Just in case.
Just in case. Tape. All that stuff. Just in case. And you use it quite a bit.
Right.
Then once they get dressed, I have a signature shot that I do, and then we head out the door. Yeah. And I tell most people, 99.9% of the time, when a bride is late, it is not her fault. It ain't her fault. Take it easy. That's the one thing that drives me nuts with weddings is time.
Yeah.
Brides are late. They have a reason. And if you were there, you would understand why. There's something going on.
Yeah.
There's a wardrobe malfunction. Somebody ain't got the right dress. They talking about what leaves the bridesmaids. They ask these people to be in their wedding. They spend money. They're not going to leave their bridesmaid. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
So let it go. All right? I tell my brides the only thing that's important on that day is for her and her fiance to get married. That's the only important thing. Everything else is a celebration. Celebration can start later.
It's still going to happen. It's still going to happen.
It's still going to happen. Relax.
Oh my gosh.
And then these pastors, shandaro bo 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 bo, shkata.
I don't, oh jeez.
Let me tell you about one pastor that didn't really impress me or move me, but he impressed and moved the rest of the world, literally. Pastor Miles Monroe. I was like, I don't see the big deal with this dude. Everybody freaking out. Pastor Miles, he got books. Whatever, dude. You pray just like I pray. Big deal. All right? Your message is that I can talk to you about saving a life.
Right.
What's the difference? Until I did this wedding, and we were about an hour and a half, 2 hours late. And this was the first wedding this man had did in like 3-4 years. And I'm thinking, this dude finna freak the hell out. It's going to be on and popping. She was about 2 hours late, literally. I was like, this going to be special. Shandarobo, how's she going to deal with this?
Let's see how this going to work out.
Ran inside of BFM, and that man was on stage preaching a sermon.
Stop it. He ain't wasting the time.
Ain't wasting no time.
Make use of the time.
Preaching a sermon. I said, well, looky here. This nigga is a beast. I like him.
Everybody ready?
This is why he is Pastor Miles Monroe. That is why right there.
Yeah.
Don't complain. You the man of the cloth.
Yeah.
Your job is to spread the word.
Yeah.
You have a captive audience. They ain't going nowhere.
They here. They waiting. Might as well.
And the bride said to me, she said, Warren, you know what? All of my friends who was at that wedding say the one thing they remember at that wedding was the sermon that he preached. I was like, that blew me away.
Yeah.
And it's like, then I go to the next church and the pastor walking up and down, huffing and puffing because the bride late. She ain't getting a deposit back. She ain't going to keep this money. Dude, seriously?
That's what he's thinking about?
That's what they're thinking about.
Wow.
And I say to y'all brides or y'all people that's listening, pick your church. Please pick your church right.
Carefully.
The church I got married at, Life Worship Center, Pastor Bishop Denzel Roll is my pastor. My wife and I didn't pay to use that church. And the church gave us a donation.
Wow.
And we was late. But the pastor gave us a donation. The church, not even the pastor, the church.
Yeah.
And it was a good one, too. Good one. And that's what I say to people. If your pastor's charging you, if you are a tithe-paying member of a church and they telling you pay $500, they ain't serious.
To use the church.
They ain't serious.
My goodness.
That don't make no sense.
Wedding photography.
Boy, listen, I want to write a book.
I think you should. I think you should.
Because you would be amazed.
The pitfalls of weddings are just stories
just
alone.
Memoirs, of weddings. I mean, I've had brides where we literally she had on one of them body things, them body snatchers.
Them,
what do you call them? You know what I'm talking about. Them things that suck you in so your curves won't show.
Around your waist and stuff.
She had on one of those that was a corset. Then she had a corset dress.
Okay.
And she had them both tied up. And when we tied up the dress, she was just standing there and she started bobbing and weaving. And I was like, what happened? She's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And it's like, what? And she's literally like, she's getting ready to drop. Had to snatch all the stuff out. Couldn't cut the dress.
Right.
Had to snatch everything out the dress and cut the corset off of us before she passed out. And she took that thing and threw it out the window. Who talked me into putting this stupid thing on? I was like, child, I don't know, but Job is dead.
So I'll ask you this then. So out of the of your experience of the weddings that you've seen, the issues that you found, Wedding planning. How important?
Get a professional wedding planner. Don't get your cousin, your sister and them.
Not your mommy who
Not
knows
your
all
mommy. No, your godmother. No, your school teacher. None of them. Get a professional.
But she know how to plan. She know how to plan
No. There's a wedding planning association in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Right.
Call them. They'll help you out. They'll find somebody for you. Because it makes a wedding, when you have a very talented wedding planner or coordinator, even a coordinator,
Yeah.
the wedding smooths, the wedding just flows just flawlessly.
It makes your job easier.
Makes my job great.
Because you don't want this. Here's the thing that people don't realize as a photographer: when you don't have a coordinator,
you are the coordinator.
There you go. No, and people don't know how to walk, even though they may rehearse it or not. They don't know how to hold, even to put hold on. You don't know how to hold a person's arm. You got to show them how to walk up. But the reception is when you have to take over. This is when you do the cake. This is when you do the dance. This is when you do the. I'm like, dude, you pay me for photography.
Unless you got a really good MC who knows
what
you got a Ozzy or you got a Demetrius, one of those guys. What's the fella, the bright skinned fella? Anyway, there's a couple of them out there.
Yeah.
I forget your names, guys, but we got some good MCs out there
that keeps
it flowing.
Yeah.
Demetrius kind of runs out a little bit, but he makes it fun. And if you have a good MC, then the reception runs well. But if you got your cousin or your mom and them or your brother or your coworker or somebody you met in the airport who want an MC, no, that just makes it horrible.
Time in a wedding is so important because, and the reason why I say this, I've had a wedding where the limo driver was ready to pull off.
Wow.
Of course, like you say, weddings are usually late. Things happen. And because they book the limo for a specific amount of time without consulting, because again, you're an expert. You should be able, even you, if they ask you, say, man, what do you think we should book the limo for? You can tell them a better time than what they think it's going to happen.
Yep.
Because like you say, things are going to happen, it's going to push it back.
You know, with us, for MCs, for me not to refer you, say they late to the reception and blame me for it. I will cuss you from A to Z and back there, and you will never, ever say that again. And I've done it.
Right.
All right? When people don't take time into consideration, the wedding ends at 4 o'clock.
Right.
And they say, oh, it take an hour to do pictures, so let's do the reception at 5 o'clock. Bullshit. Okay? It's 30 minutes to get to where you're taking the pictures.
There we go.
There's an hour of photography, which is in my contract.
Yeah.
And then there's 30 minutes to get to the reception. That's 2 hours. Okay, that ain't me.
And depending on what time of day and the traffic you got to drive through.
And if your church is at St. Haslam in Fox Hill, and you doing your wedding pictures at
Old Fort Bay or something.
Yeah, not even that. I just go with Bahamas. And you do your wedding pictures at Bahamas. And then your reception is at All Saints on East Street South. What makes you think it's going to take an hour? It's going to take you an hour just to get to Bahamas.
Just to get there.
And people just don't, they don't consider these things. Oh, this is taking long. No, it's not.
No, it's not taking long.
And when they start complaining, I show the bride. Look at the timestamp. This is when I took the first picture. Click, 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 click. This one I took that was 45 minutes. It wasn't even an hour.
That's the trick. I think that's a tidbit right there for anyone who's looking to get into wedding photography. Like for myself, I do something similar. Once I'm set up and ready, everyone is there. I talk to the bride and groom. Okay, this is the time. We're starting now. Because I know someone's going to come. Oh, they're at the reception waiting. You guys are taking long. It always happens.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you have to go. I don't know how you do it, but for me, like when I shoot weddings, anytime something happens, the only person I talk to, unless is the bride and groom, unless someone else is paying for it.
Yeah.
I would walk to them. Here's the situation. What do you want to do?
Yep.
I could tell them, I need this amount of time to do so and so. We're still missing that. Blah, blah, blah. Focus for a second. I just need some more time. What do you want to do, though?
Yep. Now, I'll throw out a plug. The best limousine service to me on the island is Higgs Limousine.
Okay.
I love working with them because I know they just give me a hard time, but they know how I go. When I'm finished with people, I send them to the limo.
Don't
stand there. Don't go over there to the limos. Go get in the limos.
Get them out the way.
And I tell them when that limousine is full, leave.
Yeah.
Don't hold up. So the only person that there is the bride and the groom and their car. Everybody else is gone.
Yeah.
And then once I finish with my bride and groom, and I tell them, listen, give me 15 minutes and come get me.
Right.
Don't blow the horn. Don't stand there huff and puff. Don't look ugly. Say, Warren, tap on the watch. Okay, good.
Then you know.
I can wrap it up, and it's time to head out. Because sometimes as a photographer, especially if you got like some people that's gelling and, you got some good images and you lose track of time and you're flowing and everything is flowing good, you lose track of time.
Yeah.
So when they give me that little 15-minute nod, I throw my hand up. I might take 1 or 2 more shots.
Let's go.
And it's time to go.
Time to go.
And I do that with the limousine drivers. I try to explain to them. Some of them, they,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. But you got to understand, listen, there's a 2-hour, and I tell everybody, there is 2 hours between your wedding, at a minimum 2 hours, between your wedding end time and your wedding your reception start time.
Right.
If your wedding ends an hour later, your reception going to start an hour later.
Exactly. Everything get pushed back.
Right. It ain't got nothing to do with me. And then, and I tell them, I say, well, listen, the hair and makeup people, they got their time.
Yeah.
The limousine people got their time.
Yeah.
Pastor got his time.
Definitely.
Who else? The food people, they standing there with, why I got to get shorted?
Yes. They always try to short the photographer.
Yeah. Why you shorting me? And 15 years from now, the only thing you're going to have, like you said earlier, is me.
Exactly. And look, I've had this before. After the wedding, no matter what, and I learned this early on, where are the pictures of this? Where are the pictures of that? Even though, see, when they allow that pressure to take them over and they say, all right, let's go, and then you don't get certain shots, how do you expect me to get that shot? Me didn't take the shot. But they were still blaming me.
And so, because I've had that and early on as well, and I've learned, I just get my shots.
Yeah,
y'all can complain all you want.
What.
I could care less. It don't make me a deal. And I've told MCs that. Let me tell you something. 3 weeks from now, when them people sitting inside of my studio, you think they complain about you? They don't give a damn about you. I'm getting that heat. I'm getting that pressure. Because I didn't take this shot because the limousine driver had another gig, another job booked.
Exactly.
No, man. I'm going to get me.
So you guys want to know why wedding photography is so expensive? This is just like the surface of what's going on.
Of a wedding.
This is what's going on. It's very difficult, very stressful. And then you have so many personalities you have to deal with.
Oh, my God.
You as one person, you might have an assistant with you, but they're just to like carry gear or whatever, but they're coming to you because they hired Warren.
And that's all they want to see.
That's it.
I could come out there with 60 people with Warren.
Exactly.
All right? And I ain't got to take one picture, but with Warren.
That's it.
So it's crazy. Brides, I know I'm going to say this to your brides and other photographers. Man, encourage your bridesmaids your brides to cut down all them damn bridesmaids. It ain't necessary to have 10 people.
Please.
10 people in your wedding. 10
No
bridesmaids and bridegroom. It's just not necessary.
The more, the worse it becomes.
Yep.
It's hard to control that crowd. I'm sure if you go through all your photos right now with those large brides, there's always someone looking off to the right, to the left.
Yep.
Like, dude, just focus for a
No,
second.
not even that. If you got married last year and you go look at them bridesmaids that was in your wedding, you ain't talking about 4 or 5 of them.
That's true.
You pissed off at the 4 or 5 of them. They mad at you. Y'all pissed off at something. No, it's just not necessary.
Get your closest friends, people you know that you've been there. They've been there for you in the past, and they're going to be there with you for you in the future. Don't bring someone because they brought you lunch one time ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can stand at my wedding. No. Get someone who's really close to you, man. That's
because
really
it's my classmate from 20 years ago, but I ain't seen him in 15.
Exactly, my boy.
Boy, cut that garbage out. Oh, God.
So wedding photography.
Now, local wedding photography, destination wedding photography, that's a whole nother movie.
Totally different.
It's a better movie, though. And they pay more.
Because the mindset, they're coming from a place where they know the price of photography. They know the importance of it. They have no problem doing that.
Yeah, they don't.
So, not even talking about.
Well, I hate to cut you off, but I think it's a racial thing.
Right.
Well, not racial, but it's a race thing. Mm-hmm. White people know how to have more. Let me rephrase that. People of a lighter hue, they know how to party.
Right.
We like to think we know how to party. We don't know how to party. They know how to have a good time because they don't care.
Right.
They ain't trying to impress cousins, sisters, mommies, boss, butter. They're not trying to impress them.
Yeah.
They want to have a good time, and they want their people to have a good time. So the stuff that they worry about ain't important. The stuff they worry about, we on the bar open up yet? I don't hear the DJ.
Yeah.
I don't hear music. We really got to sit down and eat? We can't dance?
They want to party.
I've been to destination weddings where they had to turn the music off to make the people sit down and eat.
What? They just want to party.
They just want to party.
Drink and party.
They just
That's
want
it.
to enjoy themselves. They want to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
That's all it is. They just want to have a good time. If you don't eat, that's your business. They don't care.
That's a totally different thing.
It's a totally different thing. And their
Totally
weddings are so much, all that pomp and circumstances where
put it out.
you got to do the two-step to come in and then you got to take a step forward and then take a step back and then you got to bow and you got to give them the flowers. Then you got to walk around them. Everybody, they walk into church.
That's it.
They just walk in.
But the simplest dress. The very simplest dress.
And as a wedding photographer, when you're so used to having that space where you can get nice pictures, you can get full-length pictures and half, three-quarters, and you get all that. With them, boy, it's like click, 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 click. Oh, that's everybody. And it's 6 of them.
And the pastor right there talking, there you're gathered. It's like,
what?
5 minutes later, they sign in the register.
They sign in the register. They come in, do you? Yeah, they might have a scripture.
Yeah.
And they're going to have one. That one scripture, do you? Do you? Who got the rings? That's your ring? That's your ring. Kiss. Y'all have a blessed day.
That's it.
Turn the music on. Cold. It ain't a 2-hour sermons with a, and some people need that charge, and some people need the pastor to speak to them and all that. But pastors be running out sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they
run out.
They do go too far. I'm like, dude, this is what you have counseling for. You should already tell them this. If you haven't, now is not the time.
But I ain't gonna complain about that because that's also my break.
When you sit down and chill,
I get to sit down and catch myself, go get some water, go to the bathroom, walk to the little store across the street and get a Vitamalt and some chips.
And depending on what church it is, that's a full sermon.
Check emails and check WhatsApp messages and all that, and then you can go back to work.
Have you ever had anyone fall out during a sermon? Like, when the pastor's talking because they be standing so long.
Yeah.
Because I've seen, oh my goodness.
Oh, let me tell you a story. I'll tell you I got stories. This was funny. It was a 7-day Adventist wedding, and I'm not going to call the bride's name because she's still one of my good clients. And we were at the altar, and they did the whole sermon and all that, and it was time to go sign the register. And so she started bobbing and weaving. I'm like, what the Jesus? What's going on with her? Okay. And a speech I always give, like at the rehearsal, is make sure you eat a hearty breakfast because it's going to be a long day. La-da-da-da-da. I have a whole spiel for that. I gave that spiel. So I say, I know. I told her to eat. Matter of fact, they had food at the hotel.
Yeah.
So her sugar ain't low. So they took her in the back because 7-day Adventists don't sign in the front. They go in the office and sign. This business transaction.
Yeah.
So they went in the back, and so I'm standing there talking to myself, and I'm like, I know she ate, so her sugar ain't low. She got some rest. She don't really have a headache. Stomach is okay. This chick pregnant.
Oh, gee.
And everybody kind of looked up. I didn't pay any attention. Didn't think nothing about it. Because I thought I was talking to me. Went to the reception, same thing. Is she pregnant?
Yeah.
I walked away. So when they came into the church, she was like, Warren, we expected a baby. I was like, what? Really? She said, yeah. I said, what'd your family say? The family say you told them. Me? They say, yeah, when you was in the office, you said this chick pregnant.
Oh, gee.
I was like, oh, God, sorry, oops.
That was your outside voice.
That was like that was my outside voice. Sorry, it wasn't intentional. And she's like, how did you know? I was like, I'm a paramedic.
Yeah.
Remember it? She's like, that's right. She said, but everybody said the photographer told us. No, I didn't.
This is the power. This is the power of photographers, ladies and gentlemen. We can pick up on a lot of things. Okay, just from experience and seeing people, you could pick up on a lot of things.
There's a lot of y'all that get married shouldn't get married.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We could see that. Literally, with the first time talking to some people, you'd be like, "Oh, this is not gonna work."
Oh yeah, and I see them, and you call them out, and you wish them the best. But then when they tell you they divorce, you say, "Well, okay."
Really? Oh, okay. So sorry to hear that.
Surprise! I didn't think that. God, I thought you guys would be together forever that day.
That day. Exactly, because that was the best day of your life.
So
Other than that,
Yeah, man, it's fun.
Which is interesting. I mean, if you brides or grooms, if you're going to get married, find a wedding photographer and just do a regular photo shoot. They'll tell you. They'll tell you.
Yeah, that's it. And people don't understand. You know why we do engagement sessions?
Yeah.
To figure you guys out.
Exactly.
So on
What's
the
your
wedding
dynamic?
day, yep, we know what we're looking for on the wedding day. How does the wedding day gonna flow? My gauges are small things. Mm-hmm. We plan an engagement session, and you're late. Mm-hmm. Wedding gonna be late.
There we go.
We show up to the rehearsal and have the bridal party late and the groom late, and it's gonna be late. It's that simple. There's no getting around it. All right, and I tell everybody that. And it's weddings rehearsal supposed to start at 7 and everybody get there at 8. Yeah, that wedding gonna be about an hour and a half late because they have no sense of time.
I tend to watch more like the dynamic between the bride and the groom, and then the bridesmaids and the groomsmen, and see how they interact. Because I want to see when you stand next to your person you're walking, and how well do you gel with them? Are you nervous, or usually because some people think it's time to hook up. Sometimes the guys are a bit more aggressive with the girls, and then the girls are like, "Oh, I'm not interested in this one. I'm interested in that one." And you can actually stand back and see what's going on.
You can see who's hooking up with who.
Yeah, and like it's a little soap opera, play it off. But my main concern is usually just how comfortable are the bride and groom with each other? Because then like when you put them in certain positions. Like, I want you to hold it this way, hold it that way. Will that work with them? Sometimes it don't.
I do that. That's why I do it. I like engagement sessions.
Yeah.
Because I get that done then, get that out of the way. And I remind them at the wedding, you remember how we did at the engagement session? Oh, yeah, that's right. And that's your wife. She's no longer your girlfriend. That's your wife.
Exactly.
Grab your wife, so man. Hold your wife. Hold your wife. And I tell them, Cole, big man, if you don't hold your wife, that's all. Somebody else will hold her. Somebody hold her quick. You better grab her.
Awesome, man.
And usually when I say that, people will laugh and they be like, "Yeah, but you're right."
It's true.
That's when they snatch them up and get good images.
Yeah, and that's what I'm about to say right now, because when you break that ice that way, everybody feels more comfortable.
Yeah, like my style of photography with couples, I like intimacy.
Right.
I like my people close to each other, next to each other, holding each other. Right. Where we have other photographers out here. Where there's a very popular photographer now, and I'm not going to call his name, where the pictures that he liked, the bride and the groom are always holding hands, looking in opposite directions, and standing away from each other. And I'm like, that is not love to me, but hey, if that's what people are into, so be it. That don't move me.
There's a lot of images I see lately, right? And the posing, because we've been end up talking about this forever. But anyway, the posing that I find, like you say, it's not intimate because it's not natural. And I'll tell you one that I really, really hate. This is my pet peeve. My wife could tell you the exact same thing. That forehead thing. I'm like, when in your entire life would you stand up to your lover and put forehead to forehead? What the hell is that?
I've done that a couple times.
Why, Warren?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know, because they're close together and it looks like a kiss. No. The kiss is ugly. I don't like the kiss. The kiss is ugly to me. It's the second before the kiss and the second after the kiss.
After it. That's all it is.
So if I can get the foreheads close and then see now you done put a complex on me, I ain't doing that no more, right?
No, see, I can never understand that. I'm like, are they exchanging thoughts? What's happening there?
Yeah, man, that's telepathy.
What is it? I'm like, do something.
It's flowing, man. It's that Jedi mind trick thing. That's what that is.
That is my pet peeve. I really hate that.
Wow.
I really hate that shot.
That's funny.
I would never pose anyone. If someone asks me to pose that, but we over.
It's done. I'm not the photographer for you.
I'm not doing that. I hate that, buddy. But anyway.
And I don't do it often, but I do it. I've done it before. And I like I'll do that to get close to that kiss. Mm-hmm. Close to that kiss. And I'll be like, foreheads together, get close, get close, get close. Don't pucker, just get the lips close. And then I get my shot.
Oh, but see, that's different, right? When you do, lips to forehead, I have no problem with that. Lips to the temple, things like that, just things. But forehead to forehead touching.
Like he grabbing it for the head, but the hell out.
Yes. What is that?
Off the top ring road, dusty roads.
I really can't deal with that.
That's funny.
All right, so other than wedding photography, because you're all over the place. You do a lot of things. You mentioned some other things, especially with your bag packing from newborn.
Yeah.
And by the way, Connor, the shots when he was born, it's like freaking awesome, man.
I stole that from somebody, but my bag was big enough, and I was like, I am doing that with my child. And I saw it probably like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago I saw it. And if you Google it, there's a bunch of them on there.
Right.
I still think mine is the best one, but there's a bunch of them out there. And it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. Because I'm like, I just put a couple things in there, put them in a bag. You put them in a bag, that bag is really big.
Yeah.
And people think it's a small bag because he's in it. That thing is huge.
Right.
Which I use it to this day, and he cannot fit.
Not anymore.
But I had to put a bunch of scarves up under him just to bring him
up higher.
high enough to reach. Matter of fact, I think I got a flash up under there and then blankets on top of that to get him to come up to how high that bag is. And with the bottles and flashes and all that stuff, a lot of that has stuff up under it.
Yeah.
To bring it up so you can see it.
Illusion of
It wasn't as easy as because I was like, man, I just put them in the bag. Oh, this ain't gonna work.
Didn't work.
Yeah, this ain't gonna work. So that shot probably took me about 30 minutes to form, 30, 40 minutes to get
time again.
And
then people see these things and think it's just easy.
Yeah, I should charge me for that.
Yeah, exactly. So you have newborn. I know you do regular portraits. You do a lot of sunset. And I love your sunsets because you shoot out on out west. Especially with the fire. Do you still do the ones with the fire?
I have not done the fire in a while.
Man.
I don't pull that out for any and everybody.
Okay.
That's just one of them things where like when we meet and we have our consultation, I gotta feel it.
Yeah.
You gotta. I have to feel like you guys are really in love and you could do that stuff.
Again, that's the perception we look for.
Yeah.
Because some things won't work. For some persons, even the circus.
Oh God, I got to show you. I did my cousin, and let me see. I can say this without saying it. He's a dancer. My male cousin. He's a theatrical dancer, whatever you call it. He's not booty shaking dancing. He's ballet and jazz and all that type of stuff dancer. And he was selected. He's the only Bahamian that was selected to go on a European tour. With a very popular musical. I say it like that because they haven't announced the cast yet, so I can't say.
You can't say what it is. All right.
I had it. If you went on my blog like 2 weeks ago, you would have saw it.
Yeah.
And then when he saw it, he called me, take it down. So, but I'm sure within probably the next couple of weeks, they will announce, once they announce the cast
right,
formally, I say once Disney announces the cast formally, then you'll know which music it is that's in the movie theaters right now. That musical. And so I've always wanted to do some jump shots with him.
Right.
Where, because he's a really talented kid. And so we went out Albany.
Okay.
And I wanted to do it in the rain, and it was because he left already. Actually, I think he left yesterday, but he left recent to go on his European tour for his dance thing. And so I wanted to get these jump shots with him before he left. And every day we planned it was raining. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. You want to shoot in the rain? And he was like, boy, I was just thinking about that, Uncle Warren. I was just thinking about that, man. That'd be crazy. Let's do it. We'll shoot in the rain. So I packed up my gear. I had umbrellas. I had bags to cover up my flashes. And I even bought a tarp to go over extend the back of my van so we'll have some dry area if it gets a downpour, whatever. All this stuff I had thought out. And we was like, we're going to meet at 4 o'clock. And about 3:30, the sun came out. And it stayed out for the rest of the day.
That's it.
I was like, well, mother six. I done bought all this crap and not the sun out? Really? So we did the whole shot like that, and the pitches are amazing. Mm-hmm. Man, they're amazing. It was a really, really fun shot. Okay. So yeah, I do the circus stuff. I do all kinds of stuff, man. It's fun.
So you find that moving from one genre to the next is not a big thing because like photography is photography.
And I like to say that I know in Nassau there's a handful of technical photographers.
Right.
Which you are the technicalist, this one out of all of us. But I know if I get stuck, I have photographers. I could call you. I could call Gildan. I could call Gerard, Votto, and a couple others if I have issues.
Right.
But for everybody else, they put that camera in program and off they go.
And hope for the best.
And just run and gun and hope for the best.
Oh, goodness.
And that's the challenge. And I think because I'm technical, I know, what an f-stop is, what a shutter speed is, aperture, et cetera, and how to adjust them accordingly. Everything else is just, food photography. I've done that as of recent. I did, if you go to who them people, Bahamas, well, who them people, they're my biggest commercial client.
Who them people?
They my people. What? That's my food. I do a lot of marketing shots for Grand Hyatt, Bahamas.
Okay, right.
And I just did their in-food dining menu. Mm-hmm. And so instead of having words on there, they wanted to put pictures. Mm-hmm. And so I did a all-day shoot with them of all their food, which was really cool because that food tastes good.
I was about to say, so you had a feast afterwards.
What? Man, that food was off the chain. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all now, Grand Hyatt food, off the chain. All right? That place, I love Grand Hyatt because they pay me well.
They thought it was for the food.
But no, man, they're good people. Let me tell you, young photographers, just to tell my Grand Hyatt story and photography. A challenge we have as Bahamians is we do not know time.
Yes.
And photographers, y'all need to cut that shit out.
Yes.
Okay? True story. I was shooting a wedding for one of my church members. And when I tell a bride I'll be to them at 12 o'clock, in my mind, that's 11:30.
Yes.
Okay? That is 11:30. And if I get there at 11:35, I'm late.
Right.
12 o'clock I had to be at this wedding. I was running late. Running through the hallway, past the wedding coordinator for Bahamas. Her name is Nora. I can't remember Nora's last name. And she was like, hey, you're the photographer? And I was like, yeah. But I was kind of blowing her off. I was like, miss, I ain't got time. I got to go. I'm late. And she was like, no, you're fine. You said you're going to be here 12 o'clock. And I was like, yeah. And so I just kind of blew off, and I went to the room. So we did all of that. Shot the wedding, got some incredible images of their chapel. Bahamas has a really beautiful chapel. That is just ridiculously gorgeous. Took some pictures in there, and then she was like, okay, time to do formal pictures. You got 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. I said, cool, no problem. She said, I'll be to you at the 40-minute mark. No problem. I was shooting my bride and groom, and we went all over the place. And as she was coming out of the door of the convention center to come get us, we were walking in. Mm-hmm. And she was like, man, you good. And I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, wow. Okay. And that's all she said. And we went in and did the rest of the reception. So after the reception, she was like, I need to speak to you. And I was like, okay. She's like, can I call you tomorrow? It's like, Jesus Christ, this is my first time on a piece of people property, and they ready to roll me out already? This ain't what I do now. I start hyperventilating like, Lord, they ain't going to let me back on their property no more. I done screwed something up, kicked something over. I done did something, offended somebody. I don't know. So I was like, sure, whatever. So she called me literally called me about 9 o'clock the next morning. Uh-huh. And she was like, I had a conversation with my boss and my staff, and we want to offer you this position as the exclusive photographer for our Let's Get Hitched program.
Right.
I was like, what is Let's Get Hitched? Every destination wedding that comes to the property that doesn't have a photographer and we have to book one, we will book you.
Call you, exactly.
I was like, yeah. Yeah, and I was like, why me? She said, Warren, do you know you are the first photographer to ever come on this property that was on time? That was it. She ain't see no pictures. She did not see one picture. The woman said, because I was on time.
Just show up.
Just show up on time. And I got that contract. Now, we've had a good relationship since because they've seen pictures. And they know that they know when they book me, they ain't got to worry about me being late. They know
you're coming.
They know.
That's the thing.
If Warren know we got a 1 o'clock wedding, 12:30, I can walk down to the chapel because he gonna be there. I did their real estate. You remember I told you about the suites? I did the suites. The marketing team, the event team told the marketing team, here, use this guy because we've seen his work and he's pretty good. Yeah. So they called me and asked me if I could do it, and I was like, sure. I had just learned how to do real estate photography from my dear friend here and was feeling quite confident that I could handle it. And, of course, when they made me the offer, I picked up the phone and was like, hey, babe, what you doing? And then he going to tell me, I got to work. Y'all in these damn jobs. Jesus. Anyway, and I got good pointers. He's like, do this, do that. All right, cool. So when they booked it, they told the marketing lady, now listen, if you tell this man you're gonna be there at 6 o'clock, he gonna be on time. Okay, don't freak out, but he's gonna be there on time.
Oh, jeez.
So when I got there, they wanted to do a sunrise shot.
Yeah.
I told them let's meet at 6. I was there at 5:30.
Right.
I called her at 6, and she was like, "Oh, I was just on my way down. You just getting here?" I was like, "No, I've been here since 5:30."
I didn't walk the
She was like, "Oh, they told me that." I'm sorry. And I'm like, just know that's how I roll.
Yeah.
So then she couldn't be there for one of the days, and they sent one of their little assistants, and they told this child, this man gonna be here, don't be late. And when I'm like, we talked about time, I charge $350 an hour.
There we go.
Okay? That's my time.
Yeah.
And when you take that from me, you owe me that.
Yep.
Because I could have been doing something else with somebody else that done paid me for that time.
Right.
So I'm sitting there at 6 o'clock. It was about 6. It was a 6 o'clock shoot. And the girl wasn't there. And I called. And I finally got hold to her, and I could hear her running, huffing and puffing. Apologizing. And she got there about 6:15. It wasn't bad, but she was late, and I was pissed. And she's like, "Oh my God, they told me don't be late because you're gonna be upset." And she was like about to die. "Oh God, I'm gonna get fired. It's over. It's life over." And we went upstairs to the room, and this little girl sat in the corner. I mean, literally crawled up in one corner, sat in the ball, and she just sat there and would not move. She was thinking like, "Boy, it's over. It's done. I done finally got this good job at Bahamas, and my boyfriend made me late." And I didn't say nothing to nobody because I didn't want to get in trouble, but only because she looked like if she'd have had some hard mouth, Big Mouse picking up the phone, calling everybody. But she was very apologetic, and she's like, every time I walk by that corner, I would just laugh. I was like, "Jesus Lord, it's all right, baby, it's okay, it's all right. Don't worry about it. The
woman's sweating bullets.
What? But she's about to dead. So, yeah. So that's my thing with time, guys.
Just show up, man.
Show up on time. Show up ready to work.
So, there's one thing I like to talk about, and I heard a lot of people talking about branding. That's a brand for you. Just time alone.
Time alone.
Because you're known for that.
Yeah.
So that is branding.
People know you. I'm not going to meet you nowhere.
Yeah.
You're going to meet me. Because you see, when you told me to come here, I was like, well, we starting at 6?
Yeah.
Or what are we doing at 6? So, because I was asking that question because if you say we starting at 6, I was going to be at 5:30.
All right. But it worked out. It was good, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it actually worked out.
I don't, like the client you referred me to today.
Yep.
Which was interesting because it was supposed to be from 11:30 to 12:30. I got there at 11, and because of rain, they moved stuff around. And when I walked in the room, they were sitting down ready for wedding. And I'm like, what did Jesus? Lord, please tell me I ain't put the wrong time down. Please, God, Jesus, tell me I ain't write the wrong time down. And so I started grabbing gear and putting stuff together. And the guy was like, no. We only have you for the hour from 11:30 to 12:30.
Yeah.
We're just doing a half hour ceremony.
That's exactly what it has been.
Which was about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
10 to 15 minutes.
That's all it has been. That's it.
And so I told them, I'm like, well, I'm not going to stand here in this room and watch you have a wedding ceremony and not take pictures.
Ready here.
Yeah, I'm just not going to do that. That is very selfish. And, I mean, my time is valuable, but I'm not a dick either.
Exactly. And this is why I would recommend you for certain things, because I know how you work. And I know what people are used to certain things for me.
Yeah.
Like, I need someone who I know is going to give pretty much the same level because they're already used to that.
Yeah.
I can't drop below that standard.
Yeah.
So, like, there are some photographers I know are good photographers, but because of your work ethic, I cannot recommend you because, one, I'm going to get that call.
Yeah.
Who's this person you said?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like you say, photographers, be on time, show up and do the work. Like, literally, just do the work.
Just do the work. That's it. And just show up on time. The people pay you for 5 hours. Give them 5 hours.
Give them 5.
They pay me for the hour, and we finished in about 45 minutes. And they were like, "Okay, we're done." I'm like, "Well, you got me for another 15 minutes."
What you want to do?
So you got your little friends up there, whatever, want to take some pictures?
Exactly.
You better come use it. And she was like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Yeah, and that's moving beyond what they expected.
Yeah.
Because even with them, they have that time in their mindset, and they're very conscious of the time as well. So when they're finished, they're finished. But when you say, "Look here, we still have time. Let's do something else."
Yeah.
You just went above and beyond. So you actually delivered that entire thing. You were on time. You shot there. You gave them extra photos. They did not expect none of that.
None of that. Yep.
That's how you build up your company. That's how you build your photography name. That's how you build a brand. And that's what I always try to tell people by just wearing a shirt with your logo on it, having business cards and a website does not make a brand.
No.
You make that brand by the habits that you show, and then people realize this is what you are, and they can rely on you. That's what a brand really is.
That's it, but reliability is, and that's one of the military things. Way,
Yeah.
we 6 o'clock is 6 o'clock. Full
Exactly.
stop. There ain't no nothing else. It is what it is.
So let me ask you this question. Come on, as we start to wrap up, two things I want to know. Based on the state of photography where it is in the Bahamas, where do you see it? Where would you like to see it? But where do you think it's actually going?
Wow. What was the first one? Where do I see it?
Yeah, where do you see the state of photography right now?
We got issues.
Oh,
We do. We have some world-class photographers. Let's be crystal clear.
Right.
We have the Stan Lowe who shoots all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Braxton,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
a very, very talented young photographer who's doing his thing. Sean Hanna, Sean is kind of a little weird sometimes, but he's a very, very, very good photographer. Yeah. And it's a couple of it's crazy is you get that reality check when it's like I'm one of those people. If I go on a set, I was doing something the other day. If I go on a location and I see some young photographers out there, I introduce myself and I talk to them.
Right.
I don't have this arrogant conversation or whatever. And if they if we speak, hey, what you saying? And they be like, oh, Warren, hey, how you doing? And I'm old, so I don't remember who half of them are. But, I ask them questions like, hey, did you have a good shot? You got some good images? That's good. I really would like to see.
Yeah.
And they would tag me or send me stuff like that. And if it's good, I tell them. And if it sucks, I tell them.
You're right.
And so I try to make myself, I guess, relevant that way and just talk to the young guys. But we have a lot of photographers that get cameras for graduation gifts.
Uh-huh.
And don't take the time to learn.
Right.
We have the best university here in the world. I ain't talking about UB either. University of YouTube.
YouTube, buddy.
But
Always
you
open.
could go on YouTube and you could figure anything out. There's a
registration.
class for every registration.
Yeah.
Just pay your internet bill.
That's it.
You know what? Go to Starbucks. Buy a coffee.
That's even better.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Go to Starbucks, buy a coffee. It's less expensive. And you can learn these things and master them. And I tell everybody, how do I get better? Take pictures.
Yeah, you have to shoot. You have to do
It's
it.
that simple. Take pictures. That's the only way you're going to get better. And a lot of people put the camera on P and just run and gun, and what they get, they post that garbage on Instagram and and Facebook and put their initials on there and their logo on there, and I'd be like, wow, that's pretty bad. It's crazy. But when I see stuff on Instagram and all that, I comment. If I like it, I definitely comment and say, great shot, wonderful images, love the shot, love this, love that, or whatever. And you hear it.
Yeah.
People be like, oh, man, thanks for liking my picture. And I'm like, who the hell are you again?
Yeah, see, exactly.
But I'm definitely not somebody that just like any and everything. I like what I like. Mm-hmm. And so I like it on Instagram. So this whole P thing is just this whole program thing, and he's getting these cameras just because mom and dad gave me a camera for Christmas, and you took 4 pictures of your best friend, and they say they like it. Now you want to start charging people a crap load of money to produce garbage. Mm-hmm. And that is the biggest problem I see right now. I was doing a shoot the other day. I was actually teaching somebody how to use their camera.
Right.
And there was another younger photographer out there shooting. And I said, look at him. He has no idea what the hell to do right now. And you can just see him fumbling. Confused bad. And I didn't have time, because this guy had paid me to be there, so I didn't have time to go over and help this guy.
Right.
But it was like, boy, he was Rashad, this nigga was circling the drain, but he was circling bad, and he finally just like, the hell with it. Got up. And so what was funny was as he was walking away, one of the girls was like, oh, hey, Warren. And the guy's like, Warren, it's Warren G, the photographer. And I was like, oh, God, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. And dude kind of looked, and I asked him if he got some good shots. He's like, yeah, man, it got kind of weird at the end back there. And I wanted to say, well, let me see. But again, I was training this guy. So,
right.
Yeah, and I see that a lot where these guys just get stuck. And I hope he went home, Google something, YouTube something, Bing something, do whatever, call a friend, phone a friend to figure out what the problem was and fix it. But if I'm out and I see people, I lend a hand. So that's where we are. Now, where we going?
Yes.
Oh, and let me go back. Just because you live at home with your mom and dad and they pay your bills and you really don't have expenditures, don't undersell yourself just because you want to buy some dinner for your girlfriend. Okay?
I need this quick $50.
I need this quick $50.
Yeah.
Let me do this shoot. Bunch of garbage. All right? Put a value to yourself and stick to your guns. The problem we have is people are underbidding stuff just to get a job.
Exactly.
Each other just to get a job.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it don't make no sense. My price is my price. Full stop. All right? If you go with somebody lower, well, you get what you pay for.
Pretty much. That's exactly what happens.
All right? And I've had people go to different photographers for their wedding and then come back to me and ask me to reshoot it.
Yeah.
And they get the full regular wedding price for me to reshoot that.
Exactly.
Because that's where you should have went in the first place. And so, guys, if you think your work is good and you're getting clients, man, jack your price up. Let me not say it like that. Be competitive.
Yeah.
Let your prices be competitive. Be on par with everybody else. Everybody shop everybody. I know I've had 1 million photographers send me emails on WhatsApp like I don't know it's another photographer asking me about my prices.
Exactly.
And so everybody know prices and just be on par. Don't underbid yourself. You charging $300 to shoot an 8-hour wedding. You selling yourself out. And you're gonna burn yourself out.
Yes.
And
that
you're not gonna last.
That's very tiring. Yes.
You're not gonna last. So don't do that, guys.
Yeah.
Increase your prices to be competitive.
And on that same vein, I'll put out because I've actually had persons, because my number's on my website and every place, like people call me, like literally I've had young photographers call me and I'm saying, look, yeah, first of all, thanks for calling me. If I have the time, I say, look, either let me call you back, or if not, what do you need? Let me help you out. I got no problem helping the person out.
Same thing.
But if you want to sit and, I think, because someone made a comment one time as if, oh, no one is helping them out. I'm like, well, who did you talk to? Oh, no one. Like, you expect me to come to you?
Yep.
My life is busy. Now, if you want to come into my life, I'll give you a slice of my time and to work something out.
But a very small slice.
I'll give you a part of that. I'm not going to say, but get from around me, nothing like that, because I'm looking for the industry to grow.
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, as you see now, I'm not going to do this forever.
No.
Understand me? So I've already trained good much persons. Gave them a lot of skills. Those who were willing to take my advice on it and doing things, and they're out shooting right now. Like, I have no problem with that. Just ask.
But it's crazy. Because I'm a one-man gang. Right. I shoot by myself. I tote my gear. I do everything by myself. And everybody else asks me, why don't you have an assistant?
Right.
Because every time I get one and they work with me for one day, they quit. Because they realize
familiar.
They realize what the hell it's about.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, or they'll work with you 3 or 4 times. They'll go out on a couple gigs with you. Then the next thing you know, you look on Instagram, on Facebook, and you're like, did I take that picture? Dang, that looked like something I did.
Yeah.
That's not me. And so that drives me nuts as well. And it's brutal, man. These kids nowadays don't want to put in the work. The work and the time. It does take time and work. It's. I mean, like I said, we have some talented young photographers out there. Let's be crystal clear. Mm-hmm. I never say we don't. Mm-hmm. But we got some guys out there that's just, they want it and don't want to do the work, but want the shirt and want the logo and want their name amongst the stars and stuff like that. And it just don't. A prime example, Andre Musgrove. Mm-hmm. Andre is an underwater photographer. Right. That nigga is a beast. But Andre always under the water taking pictures. You have to do it. Okay? Put in no always work. Under the water taking pictures. But he's a beast. He shoots for National Geographic. He shoots stuff that National Geographic pick up. Because he's a beast. And he's a Bahamian. Yeah. And so we have that talent. It's just that you got to put in the work. That's the thing. That's all it is. Yeah. What I would like to see, I would ask you that, but what I would like to see, and I would always say this, portrait photography is not the only photography in the world. No. You live in the Bahamas, man. Like you say, Andre, I'm glad you mentioned him. How you shoot underwater. We have wildlife. We have birds. We have animals. Yep. There's so many different things you could get yourself into. Because I started out in seascape photography, and I was very well. Yep. I got a picture of you doing your thing, seascape thing. See? It's like this, it's so wide. Like, going to other avenues. Yeah.
Most auto photographers always start taking pictures of flowers and stuff, and then for some reason they decide to stop.
And shoot people.
Yeah, and shoot people. Like, do you know how far you could go with that?
Yeah.
You know? So I would really like to see that part.
Especially with landscape. I know you've done a lot of stuff with landscape and have sold a lot of artwork with landscape. And I think the only other landscape photographer I know now is Gildan.
That's it.
Jeff used to be. But Jeff done sold out.
Yeah. And Yusuf Shane as well.
Yeah.
But Shane got busy with some other things. Yeah. But it was very few of us.
Yep.
Very few. And I haven't seen anyone else since.
Nope. And doing incredible work. And that's it. It's done.
Yeah, just like you say, photography is that's what allowed you to move from one thing to the next. You could shoot wedding portraits, baby, whatever the situation, real estate, because you understood photography itself.
Yeah.
You know, I think people, and I always tell my students this, look here, don't think, I just want to shoot for portraits. Just show me how to shoot portraits. Dude, if I show you how to use this camera, I don't care what's in the front of you.
You can shoot whatever you want.
Whatever.
Pets.
Exactly. So, yeah, the industry is a bit weird. I would really like to see more persons. Like I said, we offer classes. You have Warren, you could call him up and ask him to help you with your camera and take some shots that way. There's a lot of photographers out there. We're out there. You know we're out there. Because I have a lot of persons on my page I know are young photographers. Yeah. Don't be quiet.
And that's the thing. Quiet. Ask questions.
Yeah.
Ask questions. If you say, well, Warren, can I come in and shoot with you? It depends on what it is. And if I ain't.
Exactly.
If I don't have like 6 shoots that day, which I never have, but if I don't have a bunch of shoots that day, sure.
Yeah.
But don't come and copy my style.
That's the thing, yeah.
That's the whole thing. That don't come out there and next thing I know, I take a picture, at a gas station on East Street today, and then tomorrow you on a gas station on East Street. That's going to drive me nuts. I was going to shoot this building. It was funny. I was going to shoot this one building, and I was planning to shoot this one building, and when I rode by, I saw Sean Hanna and his team out there shooting the same building.
Yeah.
I scratched that off the list, right?
That's it. That's it. Yeah, I do the same thing. If I see someone shoot that location, nope, that's it.
Scratch that off the list. I was like, Jesus, he beat me to it. And I'm not taking nothing from him. I mean, I saw the work he did. And it's gorgeous. It's beautiful work. But yeah, he beat me to it. It's just the
location.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to be like,
because I don't want nobody to say, you copied Sean.
Exactly.
It's like, no, but and mine would probably look different than his because his style is totally different. He's more of a high fashion guy.
Yeah.
Where I'm not high fashion at all. Not at all. Because I'm not high fashion.
Like, what are you wearing today?
Yeah, exactly. I got on plenty clothes today. I got on long pants.
Exactly.
And tennis shoes.
You got to be comfortable, buddy.
Wait,
exactly.
What?
You have to be comfortable when you're out shooting.
I'm very dressed up. Yeah.
So what's next for you, man? I mean, you had a long career. Because you've been in, like I said, you started in school, you went into military, you went into the medics. What's next, man?
What's next? Well, I got, let's see, tomorrow
Don't watch TV. You might see something else.
No, I'm happy. My 2 passions I'm doing.
Good.
My passions are photography and pre-hospital care.
Good.
And I'm doing those, and both of them have been over 30-year spans. So I can't do nothing else. I ain't bungee jumping. I ain't flicking. No,
you reached that point where it's like
I'm at that pinnacle where I'm at. I don't ever plan on retiring. And I say that to people and they don't understand. What do you mean you're never going to retire? I'm like, I'm doing my passions.
Right.
What I'm doing is not work.
Right.
So why would I want to stop it? I enjoy it.
Just do it as long as you can move about. Just keep on doing it.
And my boss is great. I love my boss. Yeah, he loves me too.
Knock on Mr. Grant. Hey, what we doing today? So, where can people find you? Give me some numbers. Give me some websites.
My website is warrengrantphotography.com. My Facebook is Warren Grant Photography. My Instagram is Warren Grant Photography. 424-242-5678. So I'm based in the Bahamas. 242-424-5678. I travel. I'm going to St. Louis Thursday to go shoot a wedding. Those opportunities don't come up often, but when they do, you jump over them.
Yeah.
That's me. Instagram, Facebook, and my website. And my office is off of Robinson Road, across from the Number House. Everybody know what that is. Next to Bobo Shine.
Yeah.
But yeah, off of East Street and Robinson Road, head west, and first left in Ridgeland, and there I am. You'll see my name on the building with some pictures, and
All right, just give me a list of the things that you shoot.
God.
Starting from weddings and just go down the list as much as you can remember.
A lot. I shoot weddings, portraits to include newborns, maternity. For some reason, I've been a maternity photographer for the last about 3 months.
Really?
I've shot probably about 20, 30 maternities within the last maybe 3 months. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but they come in and I appreciate y'all business. Let's be crystal clear. I'm not complaining, but I've done a lot of maternities, underwater maternity, beach maternity, all that stuff. Sunsets, I love sunsets. My favorite. I do boudoir. I've teamed up with Girl on Pole.
Yeah, I forgot to even talk about that. That's really awesome.
Teamed up with Girl on Pole with Rafi. Yep. She is awesome, ladies. If you just want a good workout, and you want some, if you having a bad day, and all your self-esteem is rolling down the drain, go see Rafi on Girl on Pole. She is the best. She's all about women empowerment. She's all about making women feel good. And she teaches you how to pole dance. So
bonus.
Don't think that it's all about going in there and the hoochie music and you bouncing up and down on the pole and they throwing dollars at you. You go there that first day and you gonna be sore the next day because it is a workout. But Rafi she is a woman's woman, and she's all about the woman. She's awesome. Good. But she and I teamed up, and we do boudoir. So with my boudoir sessions, if I shoot boudoir, they got to do one session with her.
Right.
They have to. If you don't do a session with Rafi, then I'm not going to shoot you.
Build that confidence.
Right, and it's not because we're trying to make this money together. No. She's all, like I said, she's all about women empowerment. Mm-hmm. And when you do that class with her, she will make you feel good. She'll make you feel confident and want to do that. And she teaches you how to do the poses. Right. She knows the poses I like. She knows what I like. And so she'll teach you all that stuff. So when it's time to get in front of the camera, it just flows. And the session just goes so smooth. Right. And I've teamed up with Vixen's Den on Marathon Road. So they supply all of my my clothes for my boudoir sessions. So your little G-stringy things, the things. Yeah, Vixen's Den. She's awesome too. She's all about women, and she has a wide selection of clothes. I shoot a lot of big girls, which big girls need love too, and they, believe it or not, are easier to shoot than the skinny. I find that they're
usually more confident themselves. Yeah.
Yep. And so I did a woman this year. I did a session with this. She's about a 200-pounder. Right. 250. And I did a session with her for Valentine's Day, and I put a little slideshow together for her, and she gave it to her husband. Her husband cried like a 2-year-old.
Oh, gee.
He was just so impressed, and she was like, dude, that's the best gift I ever gave him. And, so I'm going to start promoting more of that here in the near future. You're going to see a lot less wedding and more boudoir. Okay. And real estate are kind of the two places I really want to go now. It's just real estate, boudoir is what I want to really push. But I do food photography. Yeah, that's pretty much me. Maternity, boudoir, food, real estate, weddings.
So if you need it, just give Warren a call. Like he said, he gave you his number. Say it again. What's the number?
Area code 242-424-5678.
And like I say, his name is his website, his Instagram handle, Twitter, everything. So Warren Grant Photography, check it out whenever you guys get a chance. So, man, I want to thank you for coming out, having this talk with us here on talking about art and photography itself, about focus on art. And it's really, really good to hear your story and that everyone else can hear your story.
Yeah, it's a good story.
So, so when people see you now, they have a different concept of who you really are and what you do and how you got here. It was not an easy road.
It has not been an easy road. It's been very long.
And that's the key. That's really the key, man. You just have to keep on shooting. That's how you become better. So again, I want to thank you guys for tuning into this podcast called Focus on Art, where we discuss the lives, thoughts, and work of creative minds. And don't forget, I am Rashad Penn, the host of the podcast. Feel free to share this podcast with your friends. And if you know anyone in the arts, it doesn't have to be photography, anyone in arts, you can always recommend them to us. Leave us a line there on the website at thecreativecenterbahamas.com. So until next time, you guys stay poppin', you guys stay cool. See you next time on Focus of Art.
Good. fine.